Today this video is going to be about an exercise. Today is 16th of July and the thing that we are trying to check is the progress of your soul. Now let's get started. First, let me start by just explaining what we are doing, and then what we'll do is go through a series of questions. Yes, it will be uncomfortable, but we'll be going through a series of questions to basically judge our progress in this world as a soul, and also it will help you artistically because obviously spirituality is so related to artistry and also being a little good. Now let's get started. So the first thing is, as human beings, we need to have some core values. Now there is an actual exercise when you are going for self-control that you have to write your core beliefs every day, and just writing them makes you so conscious about them. So the first thing is that we have to examine ourselves. All right, we have to examine what is our core value. Are we sticking to it? Is this the virtue that we were trying to be at? There are some people, if you have seen them, that they behave in a very certain way or a different way than they are supposed to. And the reason is because somewhere they diverted from their own path, and then they start chasing greed or something else, and then you realize that the person has become somebody else than what they were, which was hopefully amazing. And they're actually not taking the decisions according to how they should take the decision. You know, when we say this person doesn't know how to do business, or this person doesn't know how to handle things, even though they are very talented, this might be the reason for it. So the first thing is we have to regularly assess our souls and what it is committed to. When we behave in the world, the second thing is that we often behave a little bit childish, sometimes a little bit rude, sometimes like an animal, forgetting every single core principle of the world. Sometimes we become very greedy, sometimes we become something else. And this is actually helpful. All this matters. This is actually helpful to think and just assess the activity you have done so far and relate it to one of this. For example, have I behaved in a childish way? Is my soul behaving in a childish way? And it's required for the certain thing. So what aspect does your soul relates to? There are 5 given in the book, so I'll read them out to you. One is a child, a youth, a tyrant, a pet, or a wild beast. Do you think you can relate to anyone or any one of them, any one of the 5? Now the third thing is that companies usually do. The third thing is to think, what is your mission and value? Now I know it seems very boring, but you do not have to give a dot answer here. You can be philosophical to your own kind. And just remember, why are you doing what you're doing? Even if it is to create some value in the world, that is good enough. But what is your mission? Now, in the fourth thing rather, what we have done so far is we have looked at the activities we have been doing and how it relates to the mission that we have. Now what we have to think is, to the mission that we have, are our activities aligned? And if not, then what activities will do to basically, let's just say I want to have the virtue of a warrior or a philosophical artist, then what acts do I need to do on a daily basis? And no, this will not only be artistry, but this will also be the mindset you go with to become an artist. For example, Pablo Picasso is highly hated for the way he was, while other artists are actually praised for the way they were. In the way of their doing, they both created art. But one movie has a name, Surviving Picasso, because it is said that he used to suck the soul out of everyone he met. Yes, we can be philosophical and admire that, but that is not something that is admirable. When you're making other people's life hell, it is admirable when you live your life as an artist with a virtue, with amazing character. That is what is required. So what are the acts that will go with it? Now it might have been very uncomfortable to even think about these questions and even to answer them in that split second that you're getting after each question. But even if they gave you a little flow, you might have realized it is uncomfortable. You don't feel good about it. You don't feel amazing about it. It kind of takes, the idea of being comfortable out and then facing yourself just in the mirror, raw as you are. And the thing is, when you go for correcting actions, now you have already done 50% of the work, you have reflected. But the next day is going to be about no matter when you're watching this video, and no matter what state you're watching this video in, you might be somebody who's very happy or somebody who's very depressed. But the way forward from here is going to be correcting that behavior. You have already analyzed the symptoms if you're having any. Now it is to correct them. How will you correct them? They should align with your core values, and then you have to act. So before acting any act, you have to think, does it align with my core values? Am I taking the pictures just for the sake of taking the photo and improving my artistry? Or am I taking them just to become famous? Am I extra editing them just to, meet someone? Or am I copying somebody else's composition that I shouldn't? All these questions, I hope it makes you a better artist. Thank you.